What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend and you're ready to get back into that grind upcoming Monday. Money Monday. So, doing the Sunday scan, let's create a watch list for this upcoming week. Take a look at some of the stocks that popped off last week and see if they're still in play and worth keeping eyes on for any potential opportunity this upcoming week. If you guys have any stocks you want me to look at or any recommendations, feel free to comment them and I'll be happy to pull them up and see if they're worth keeping an eye on. So let's take a look first at the SPY. That's the first thing we'll look at. And then we'll dive into the stocks that popped off last week. We got a handful of stocks I think we can keep our eyes on going into next week. So with the SPY here, let's blow up the, I don't want the 30-minute, I want the 10-minute. I personally like to look at the 10-minute time frame. So we've been in a confirmed down channel ever since November 22. So a couple weeks we've been in this channel to the downside. Simply just connect our lower highs and lower lows on it. You could see it's in a down channel as it's just getting hammered down. These are pretty much healthy corrections. There's really no need to panic, but we all know, and if you've been around in the market for some time, anytime the market is red, CNBC and all of those major financial news outlets, they just go into pure panic and try to freak people out. People with their long-term portfolios and people who are near retirement start to freak out anytime the market starts to go red, because if you think about it, you've been consistently investing for 20, 30, 40 years and you're near retirement. You can't afford to have a 20, 30% crash after investing like that. So that's why a lot of people like to panic whenever there's red in the market. But as day traders and swing traders, we take it a day at a time. We just every day monitor the market, the SPY. This is mother, as I like to say. You never question mother. You never try to predict what mother is going to do. You just simply listen and follow. So we're down at support on our bottom trend line with the SPY on the 10-minute, 30-minute, hourly chart. Doesn't matter what you really look at. So it's just going to be important to see where the market is opening up before the market opens Monday morning. So we would like to see it hold up at this 450s with the SPY. Maybe get a nice little gap up to 455, who knows. But just play the down channel as it's going down. With us being at the bottom of the channel, we could see a nice perk back up to this top channel up here at 460s. So there's some good momentum right there we could look forward to. Next stock I want to talk about. What's going on, JB ATL? AMC. So AMC last week just got completely demolished hardcore. Now, if you guys have been here on this channel for the last, I've been a content creator on YouTube for over 3 years. So since AMC has been popping off, about midsummer, I would say, I've been waving the flag and telling everybody who would listen, stay far, far away from AMC. Don't jump on the hype train. Don't do it. Sure enough, look what happened to AMC. Just got completely demolished. from $40. They got hammered all the way down to $25 a share. That's a huge downfall for AMC. So let's see, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday and Tuesday is when it really started to sell off, from 37 straight down to 27, and it's trying to find a bottom here at 26. Now we'll look at this 10-minute. It was in this consolidation for some time, from 38 up here to 45. Just got in that range and finally broke through its support, and timber, down it goes. With everything that's been going on, you have to really pay attention to what is going on in the world. Nobody really is going to theaters anymore to watch movies. Nobody is. Everything's going digital and streaming. Take a look at Netflix, Hulu. You have all of these big companies like Xfinity, who does internet and cable. They came out with a streaming software, Peacock. You can watch movies that hit theaters in the comfort of your own home, right? So people are not really going out and watching movies anymore. So AMC long term, this company is screwed unless they can pull a magic rabbit out of their hat, team up with like Disney or something. They got to do something. They're trying to do everything that they can to stay relevant, teaming up with Bitcoin, now accepting cryptocurrency as some sort of payment. I mean, I'm even seeing some commercials on AMC when I watch TV occasionally. They're just trying to stay irrelevant and keep the dream alive. So AMC, that's a big downfall for it. I've waved the flag and tried to warn people. If you listened and stayed away from this, good job. Because you always, whenever you see a crowd of people go to something, you always want to turn and run the other way. When everybody and their mother is talking about something, don't join in on it. Go the other way. So with GameStop having that epic big squeeze and AMC following after, that was pretty much a once in a lifetime opportunity. You best believe the big money, they're not going to let that happen again. They're not. So goodbye AMC, it was fun. Now let's jump in and talk about the stocks that popped off last week, and are they still worth paying attention to as we go into next week? We have LGVN with an epic gap up on Friday from $18 up to $26 just about. An $8 move. Stock opened up, consolidated. It really tried to hold up at that 23 and just collapsed and fell right through. But don't necessarily write LGVN off just yet. It's still holding that $20. That's a good sign for it. If it can hold above that 20, the stock likes to move. It's got volatility. This stock can rip dollars at a time. Easy. It's only like $3-4 away from its highs, or the area it broke down from. So with LGVN, oh yeah, most definitely there are going to be eyes on this. You got to take a look at shorts. They could get overconfident and cocky on this stock. It's a pharmaceutical biotech, I believe. These pharmaceutical biotech stocks love to squeeze. They love to. So with LGVN, I'm going to throw this on the weekly watch list just for the fact it's got good range and volume is paying attention to it. I mean, even catching a nice $1, $2 move on this, it's possible. I mean, the range on it is just insane. Look at this. On Thursday here, bottoms out at 18 and effortlessly rips up to 20 bucks, $2 a share. Scroll back on this day way back here, from $22, this thing effortlessly just rips up to $32 just about. Just gradually, and what's the word I'm looking here, just explodes up $10 a share. I mean, that's opportunity. All you need to do is catch $2-3 of that, and that could make your whole week on just one stock. So these stocks, I look at them as opportunity. You don't emotionally marry these stocks, just monitor them, get used to how they like to move, and see how they set up for any potential opportunity. So with LGVN, we also have Ppsi. This is another good one. It seems to like to run with LGVN. Friday, it had a nice big explosion on it. From $12.50, this bad boy rips up to $17 a share. That's like about a $7.50 rip from $12.03 to $12.25. So 20 minutes, this one stock runs up over $7 a share. I mean, if that's not opportunity, you guys, I don't know what to tell you. And you don't need much. You don't need to buy that many shares to make good money on these types of stocks, you guys. A stock running up $7 a share like that, I mean, even 100 shares of something like this, and it rips up $2, that's $200 in your pocket. So don't let the price of these stocks scare you guys away if you have a small account. If they're volatile and they can rip dollars, there's opportunity there. So don't get caught up in the stocks that are under $1 or at $1.50, $2. That's why a lot of newer people gravitate to those types of stocks, because they think, well, I have a $3,000 account, and if I focus on these stocks that are $1, I can buy a lot of shares, and all I need it to do is rip up $1, and I'm gonna be good, rich. Unrealistic expectations, as I like to say. When you focus on these stocks that are like $1.50, you gotta think, when they move up 25 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, that's a big percentage move. So if a stock is $1 and it runs up to $2, that's a 100% gainer. That's unreal in the stock market finance world. Versus you're watching these stocks like LGVN from $20, let's say, and it runs up to $25. That's a $5 per share move, but in finance world, it only ran up, let's say, maybe 20%. That's more believable and realistic of achieving, right? So Ppsi, back to this one. I don't want to go too far off topic. With it running up like that, you got to be quick with these names. We're day traders, right? We patiently sit and we wait for opportunity to come to us. Let me repeat that. As day traders, we patiently sit and we wait for opportunity to come to us. We don't chase after opportunity. We don't chase after these stocks. We monitor these stocks Let them form something that we've seen time and time again and wait for that perfect moment. That's the hardest part, is waiting. It's just like fishing. You go fishing, some people can't stand it or don't like fishing because they think it's boring. They don't like to sit there and wait to catch a fish. Same thing kind of with golfing. You're with your thoughts. You got to have patience and discipline to do it. Opportunity can pop up like that and then be gone the next second. So with these stocks, patiently sit, wait for that opportunity, and look at how fast ISPC ran up and then it crumbled and gave everything back. One of my favorite sayings is, if you're seeing a stock hit on the stock scanner, it's too late. You want to be getting in on these stocks and anticipating the moves before they happen. That way, when they do hit the stock scanner, you're in the money and you're selling to the dumb money that's chasing after it. So with ISPC here, I would look for it to hold up at this 13, 1250, maybe 12 area. Let this thing set up. See if we get any other good pops next week. Because like I said, when this stock, when it pops, I mean, this thing runs. Friday from 1250 ran up to 17. Back here a couple days ago, right here, right out of the open, from 1650 runs up to $21. Then later on in the day here from 15, it runs up to almost 18. I mean, this stock has shown us time and time and time again that it loves to move dollars at a time. And remember, all you got to do with the stock like this, you don't want to get greedy. You don't want to go after the whole pie, right? Don't try to go after the whole entire pie. All I really want is just a slice of that pie. If it's $1, $2, all I need is a slice and I'm good. So have that mindset with these stocks. Remember, pigs get slaughtered, right? I want to pull up LCID real quick. And if you guys have any stocks you guys want me to take a look at, feel free to comment them and I'll be happy to pull them up for you. So with LCID, the last 3 days, this stock got hammered from 40 or 56 all the way down to about 45. So that's about a $10 pullback on LCID. I love stocks like this when they pull back. Look at that daily chart. That's a nice 3-day straight pullback. When these stocks pull back, I like to look at them like rubber bands. They're building up that tension. And once that tension builds up and builds up, if the stock does break to the upside, and let me repeat that, if the stock breaks to the upside, just because stocks pull back doesn't necessarily mean they have to bounce. But keeping that in mind, if this breaks to the upside and gets that momentum, it's got a lot of room it can push up. A lot. We could see this rip up to $52, $53, I think, if it gets that momentum to the upside. And of course, it's got to get up through that $50, $49, $50. That's going to be the trigger level for LCID for that momentum to come into this and push up higher. So we'll keep this on the back burner and I want to see if it can prove itself, get that momentum, hold, and build off of levels. We already know LCID is a popular name. A lot of swing traders like it, day traders. Every single day it's got volume. It's there. I mean, look at the daily. Look at all this volume every single day on the daily chart. I mean, on average, this stock is pushing out 100 million in volume a day. That's good. All right, what else we got? CFVI. This one, it was gapping up Thursday morning. And this is a really good play here. I'm actually going to blow this up, zoom in on it. So Thursday pre-market, this stock was gapping up from $9.75 up to a high up here at $14 a share. Stock opens up, stalls out as it tries pushing for high of day, crumbles and falls apart. Let me get my pen here. Then the rest of the day, it forms this descending wedge right there. Good range on it from 11 up to 12, 11.50. So about $1.50 range on it when it formed that wedge right here. So it fell through, broke down, falls down here to just above $10. Stock ultimately comes back. Shorts are covering. Long investors are coming in. We get that double whammy. Short squeeze. CFVI reclaims 1075, 1050, gets up over the area where it fell through from that wedge back here, right there. And from 11, we get a nice squeeze all the way right back up to almost 14, where it was finding resistance way back pre-market there. I mean, that's the story. Break it down. Go back a couple days. Put it all together. How did the stock get from hitting highs Thursday morning to bottoming out at 10 to pushing right back up to its highs? So with CFVI squeezing like it did on a Friday, you got to think. And that's why Fridays can be special, you guys. I say it from all the time. Fridays, you got options that are expiring. Fridays, you got short traders. They don't want to hold a short position over the weekend. I know I wouldn't. So shorts are covering their positions on Friday because they don't want to hold anything short over the weekend. This is what could lead to nice squeezes, especially on a Friday. So CFVI, this could either gap up Monday or it could just open up at that 1250 area. I think it's definitely still worth keeping an eye on because we all know, right? Everybody loves stocks that are hitting new highs, hitting new daily highs, yearly highs. And if you really think about it and look around, everybody has their scanners all set up to pick up what types of stocks. High of day, yearly breakouts. Everybody has all of these stocks or scanners and screeners set up to pick up stocks that are hitting new daily highs, weekly highs, monthly highs, yearly highs, multi-year highs. People love stocks that are making new highs. So we know what everybody's looking for. CFVI is up near its highs. Look at the daily chart here. Its high is way up here at 14 bucks. After hours on Friday, it ran all the way up to almost 14. Right here. So CFVI, it's a good candidate to keep on watch for it to continue squeezing up higher. So CFVI, most definitely, I'm going to keep this on watch going into Monday. CPIX, 8.3 million float. It's a pharmaceutical. Friday from 4 up to almost 5 bucks. Look at this 10-minute chart here. What do you see on it? I see a bunch of U shapes. You got a U shape there, little one there. You got a nice one there. You got a nice big long one right here. Another U shape there. This stock likes to make a lot of U shapes, and it's got a big, somewhat of a cup and handle forming on it. We see resistance is right here at 5 bucks, right? If we get above that 5, next stop we're going up to is 550, which is its highs right there. Same scenario we were just talking about. Everybody has their scanner set up for high of day, weekly breakouts, high breakouts. See it before it happens. The smart money, they're monitoring stocks like this, observing it, letting it play out. So CPIX, this is a good candidate. I would like for it to hold up. 450 Ford. Bottom line, I'm gonna say it's hard because you got to take it in levels. So it's like 425, 450. Those are the levels I would like to see hold. If it crumbles and falls down below $4, it's done for. CPIX, let's keep eyes on it. If it breaks over that 5 bucks, it's got a good shot at running to 550. And then if it breaks over 550, let's look at that daily. Scroll out. So over 550, and we go all the way back to this. The last time it's been up over 550 was way back here in 2019 in September. So September of 2019 was the last time this stock was up over 550. This is a multi-year breakout if it gets over it. People love stocks like that. So it's got potential to run to 6, 650, 7, and if it gets over 7, 750, 8. So we're going to have to take it in 50-cent intervals on CPIX. Yeah, I like about 425. I think that would be a good area for this to hold up as support, 425. What's going on, Ed? Thanks for joining the stream. What's up, Calvin Jones? Hopefully you guys are all having a good weekend and nice relaxing Sunday evening or night, depending on where you are. So as I talk about all of these stocks too, guys, I've also been writing them all down here in the Discord for the weekly watch list. And for you guys that are either new here to the channel or you're not a part of the Discord, there should be a link in the video description to the Discord here. I post my watch list, or I try to post my watch list for you guys every day and every weekend. So for free. So if you guys want to monitor and see what stocks I'm watching every day, join the Discord, and right at the top up here, Mr. Wolf's Daily Watch List. I try to post it every day for you guys. So we got a we got a good list going here so far. Let's keep it going. The next stock we're going to talk about, Ppsi. Now, Ppsi, this stock has been liking to rip about 50 cents on average. On Thursday, we were watching this for it to run up and push up over 8. It did that. And then on Friday, when we were streaming in the Discord, we were watching this all day for it to push up over that $8 and run up to 8.50s. We liked how this was just hovering just below that $8 right there. All morning, it was just hovering just below it. And then that momentum came in right there. Just lunch hours, 12:30 to 1. And from 770s, got a nice, pretty much, $1 rip right there. From 770s all the way up to almost 870s. So that was a good move right there on Ppsi. And this is just pretty much a effortless, stress-free type of trade. And we see these trades all the time in the stock market. And it just goes to show you guys, you don't have to pay attention to the number one top percentage gainer or the number one stock that everybody is talking about. Focus on the stocks that you see opportunity in, because that's all that matters. Someone said Square. I'm not sure of that ticker symbol. What is it? SQ? Oh man, that's a high priced stock. When it comes to these large cap stocks, I don't really focus on them. If it's over $100, I don't even waste my time on it, because those stocks over $100, that's when you're getting into options trading. And if you were to buy shares of a stock over 100, I mean, you're going to be putting up a lot of money to be trading these types of stocks. And when it comes to options, I stay away from it, because options trading, if you don't know what you're doing, it's super risky. It all comes down to timing with options. And in the stock market, that's the hardest thing to master, is timing. That's what makes options trading so hard. Because you can see a move and you could see the potential, but you just don't know when it will happen. And that's where options, that's where they win majority of the time. Looks like Square's having a big fall off though. This is probably going to end up falling all the way down to $100. That's the next big level of support for Square. I'd be careful. $100. Because these stocks, we're in such an insane market, you guys. I mean, look at what Square did. From way back here at $9, it had an epic big run up to 100. Then it consolidated for a year. And then it had another big epic over $200 run to 320. I mean, that's just an insane return. From 2016, $8 a share makes an epic run to 320 bucks. That's epic. Just be careful, because we've been in a pretty insane market for the longest time. And eventually buying the dip is just going to stop working. So just be careful. Yeah, normally, if stocks are in a downtrend, like this is clearly in a downtrend. If a stock's in a downtrend, I stay away from them. I don't want to trade stocks that have what I like to say bad juju. It's in a downtrend, it's got negative energy, there's no momentum there. So it's very hard to buy bounces, you know, because it's just got bad energy all over it. So just stay away from it. I mean, you can keep it on your watch list and just monitor it and patiently wait for when that downtrend does decide to break, or if it ever wants to level out and just go into a nice range bound type of play. I mean, there's opportunity on it, and this stock could easily bottom out and then be in a nice $25 range for a month, 2 months, that offer really good swinging opportunities. I mean, look at stocks like what's that one? Uber. This one was a favorite of mine for swing trading. This stock, for the longest time on the daily chart, it was epic for swing trading, because it would just go into these nice range bound plays. So from like $28 right there up to 35 bucks. I mean, this was just back and forth for like a couple months. It seemed like from 28 to 35, and then it moved up, and then it consolidated again. This one was a good one. Just back and forth, back and forth. Those are the types of swing trades that I like to look out for. Stocks that are well known, they got consistent volume every single day, that offer just good range. There's all types of different trading methods and strategies and philosophies out there. All right, let me blow through this weekly watch list real quick here that I accumulated through the week and see if there's any stocks worth keeping an eye on. RKLB fell off. BBW. It's still got consistent volume. It's a newer IPO. I'm going to keep it on my weekly watch list. I think it's still got potential on it. Ppsi we talked about. GGPI. This stock's getting hammered. It's not worth it. DWAC, what a disappointment. This stock gapped up, when was it? Thursday morning? Or it started running Wednesday at the end of the day. From 40, and it ran up to almost 60. And then pre-market, it was looking good, like it was gearing up. Pre-market, the next day, this thing could have easily easily got that up momentum and pushed back up to pre-market highs at 60 and kept going. It just simply stalled out. It stalled out right there. And then after that, it went into a consolidation phase right at 45. No demand came into it. So if no demand comes into it, then prices drop down. Which it did right there Friday. But it's trying to come back up to 46. This stock, it really has to break back up over 50 to get that momentum into it. I'm gonna keep it on my watch list. Just because it's got Trump tied into it. It's a big runner, and recently you can't sleep on this thing. You can't. It's trying to set up for a squeeze. The opportunity is there, most definitely. NUZE, this stock is done for. DCPH. This stock had potential. It really did. We added this onto our list early in the week last week. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. We added it to our list because we pulled it up and we seen that it recently had this huge gap down. And it was making its way back on up. And if we said if this thing breaks over that $10 right there, it's got all this room right here to run. And people love stocks that have gaps to fill. So this thing, it could have ran to 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Had a lot of upside opportunity, but it's still building. I'll say that. It's still potentially building. They need like a press release to get it up and going. ADGI. See, I was watching this one way back here. When was this? On Tuesday? Yeah, this had a really good squeeze on it. I mean, let's zoom in on that. Yeah, beautiful squeeze here on ADGI. So here, ADGI, it was at 25 bucks and it popped up to 38 pre-market there. And then when the market opened, this thing just exploded from $30 up to 50 bucks. I mean, that's $20 a share to the upside, you guys, all within the first hour of the market opening. This is where I scratch my head, where people, they bag hold and they hope on stocks like AMC. And it's like, yo, do you realize how much opportunity you're missing out on every single day by just emotionally marrying one stock? I mean, you guys that have been here for a while with me, every day we see stocks offer insane opportunity to the upside. Insane. That's why it's sitting cash at the end of every single day and knowing every single night when you lay down and go to bed that you're cash, you have no positions, you'll sleep like a baby, you'll wake up the next morning, you'll have cash on hand and you'll patiently sit and wait for that opportunity. Best job in the world, you guys. Hands down. Best job in the world. ADGI from 30 to 50 bucks right out of the open there. Then it pulls back, holds at this 36, and then it was finding resistance like right at, I'm going to say just below 50 bucks right there. I'll draw a line. It was finding resistance at that 50 bucks, holding over 40. The next morning on it, it's starting to get this gap up, and right there, that's where it's holding that 50 bucks as support. And from there, market opens. Look at all that volume, and this stock squeezes from 50 bucks to almost $80 a share. So 2 days in a row, ADGI gave you an opportunity of $30 or more per share. That's insane. $60 in 2 days, running the first hour of the day. And we all know after a stock squeezes, that's it. It's over with. That's why the stock crumbled all the way back down here. Everybody who jumped in on it when it ran up like that, it squeezed. Once the squeeze is over with, it's got no reason being up this high. So beautiful play there on ADGI. I gotta take a snap of this chart. I'll take a snap of this. I'm gonna delete all these levels. That's just epic. ADGI epic squeeze. And then by saving all of these charts, you guys, to your personal laptop or desktop, like what I do with all of these folders right here on my desktop, all of these charts that I have in here, if ever a stock pops up again in the future and you want to see how it performed in the past, then all you got to do is go to your search bar up there, type in the ticker symbol and a stock that popped up. Let's say BTBT pops up Monday and it's got news and you want to see how it performed in the past. Click on BTBT. Looks like I don't have any right there. Hold on. BTBT. Right there. BTBT. Pull up the chart. And then now you have a snap from the history. Now you can get an idea of how this stock likes to move and the type of personality it has. This was way back when, the beginning of 2021. So let's see, ADGI. It's been getting super, super tight. I like this one. I think it still offers something. ADGI. Yeah, there's still opportunity on this name, you guys. If it breaks over 50 bucks, this thing could easily rip 55, 60, 65. I mean, yeah, it's there, definitely. Let me see what some of you guys are saying here. I know you said shorts get chewed up and spit out by Tesla, but does the chart say anything different for this week? I read there are huge puts against it. I think it tanks. Dave, you've been saying Tesla is going to tank for weeks. As long as it keeps holding that 1,000, that's a big, big area for Tesla. 1,000. There's so much volume that flows into Tesla every day. It's insane. But my history as a trader, you never, ever, ever short Tesla or you fight Tesla. You always go long on Tesla, always. Even back before it did its reverse split, who remembers here, or who even was around when Tesla did that 2-for-1 split? When was that? That was like way over here, right here, back in August of 2020. Remember back before it did its split, it did an epic squeeze and we were seeing Tesla run $300, $400 effortlessly in a day. It was insane. So Tesla, it's the number one shorted stock in the stock market. I don't know why, but there are a lot of people who always just think Tesla's up way too much. I mean, even Elon Musk came out and said before, it's up way too much. And people think, well, if it's up too much, short it. And what keeps happening? They just keep getting squeezed. Everybody has Tesla in their long-term portfolio. Everybody. So with Tesla, it may crack down 1,000, but until then, play the range on it. 1,000 to 1,100. Who knows? It may squeeze again. The daily chart, you can slap a trend line on it. Like that. It's got somewhat of a descending wedge it's forming on it. So if it bounces off of this 1,000, it could easily bounce right back up to 1,100, 1,125. Just play the chart on it. But if it crashes down through 1,000, this thing's gonna free fall. 975. That's where your 50-day moving average is. About 900. Yeah, Tesla's crazy. I could see it bouncing though one more time to about 1075. About right here. Yeah, even JBATL says EVs are getting hammered, but Tesla has so much support that I would never try to short it. I see people saying AMC on every channel, even the crypto ones. It's like it's the only stock they know. If you look at a lot of the channels too, I mean, when AMC popped off, there were so many new channels that popped up on YouTube. And if you just go to their About section and seeing that their channel was created January, February of 2021, their main goal is to just stream and talk about AMC every day and collect that revenue from YouTube. This is a business, you guys. Everybody's out here trying to make $1. Everybody. There's people that don't even trade. They just talk about what's popular just to make money because they know people are interested in it. I mean, those channels, the ones that stream and just talk about AMC all day, easily, they have over 10,000 people just watching throughout the day. And the person who owns that channel, they're making bank. Just be careful on Tesla, man. Tesla is a wild one. Let's get back to the watch list here. We talked about CPIX, OLMA. This was one that was starting to pop off and it was getting my attention on Friday. Same scenario with DCPH. It just recently had a big gap down from 22, finding a bottom down here at 850s. If this gets over 11, 1250, 13, it's got to look at all that room here. It's got to run up right there. So OLMA, it's a pharmaceutical. I wouldn't be like swing trading this. But if that momentum comes in, this has got upside potential, definitely. It's slowly starting to heat up a bit. Slowly. It may take time for it. I would just put an alert at 13. That's probably what I'm going to do here. Set an alert and then just move along. Up over 13, that's when it could really start moving. We talked about CFVI, LGVN, IOBT. This was another name that popped off on Friday. Let me delete that list. All right. IOBT. So let's zoom in on this. Right out of the open on IOBT Friday, gears up just below that $10. Down here 950s. We could zoom in on that. Look at that. There's your $10. And that's why you guys want to look at these psychological price levels and look at these stocks. When they pull back and get a micro pullback just below $10, that's a huge psychological level. And this gets a micro pullback to 950. It's gearing up and it explodes over that 10 right into a halt. And this thing reopens way up here 10 minutes later at 1250. That's a $2.50 rip right there out of the open. Just by noticing a little strategy like that. Stock pulls back down and look at it. Right where it got halted at, finds support. 1050. From that, gets a quick snap back up to 12. That's a $1.50 rip there. Comes back down. Gets another snap back up to high. And halted again. But when it reopened, it failed. There's a big seller up there at 1250. So let's see. comes back down. About that $10. It was finding support. That's how big these psychological levels are, you guys. $10, it fell right back down to it. Clearly held from 10, gets a nice bounce up to 11. I mean, there's a good, and just goes to show you guys, you don't have to focus on what everybody else is focusing on. There's opportunity out here everywhere. Comes back down to 10 again. Holds, and from 10 gets another $1 bounce. Comes back down to 10 again. Holds, gets another $1 bounce. So, total of $3 this stock bounced. And it was just in a basic range, back and forth. That's all it was. If this gets back up over 11, it could easily push right back up to that 1250 up there and breaks over 1250. Let's look at that daily. So 1250 right there. It's got room to run to 1350, about $15, and then you got your highs up here at 16, $18. I'm not sure of the float on IOBT. It's a newer IPO. It's only been open 20 days. Let's see. Maybe when we least expect it, when AMC is in the crapper, the masses actually will happen. Maybe people think like this and it will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. LGVN still in play. Yep, we've talked about LGVN. I see one Furu on YouTube just streaming himself, just watching AMC, BBIG, and PROG all day long for like 8 hours a day, and has like 4,000 people in that stream all day. It's a moneymaker, man. It's a moneymaker. Finance world and the stock market, you gotta look at this. It's a business, you guys. Everybody is out here to make a dollar. Even if they're not trading stocks, everybody's trying to make a dollar. You got people trying to sell you stock scanners, news feeds, fundamental analysis, alerts, all kinds of stuff. DVDs, courses, books, strategies, indicators. Everybody's out here to make a dollar. Maybe AMC does come back and proves everybody wrong and gets that epic squeeze. I mean, it could happen. It could, but the way I look at it, everybody's been bag holding it, and then you're seeing all of these people every single time it dips down lower. They're saying they're adding more or they're buying more. If it does squeeze, they're gonna get rewarded for bad habits. Because how many times, you guys, have we've seen stocks pop up, trap everybody, and then slowly die out? I mean, look at what happened to OCGN. You know? Look at it, how many times this stock popped up to its high up there and trapped everybody. And then they brought it right back down. It's just a repeating cycle over and over and over again. So people who all got trapped right here, they bag hold and bag hold, wait for it to come back up. Then it finally pops up, and everybody who bought here are selling right here. They're washing their hands. And then a new wave of people come in and get trapped. Then they bag hold it as it all goes down here. Then they hope and wish it comes back to where they bought it. And they say they're going to wash their hands, never do it again. They get lucky, stock comes right back up. They finally get to sell it, wash their hands after holding on to it for 2 months. And then a new wave of people come in. And the cycle just continues and continues and continues, right? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Human nature never changes, you guys. And when you take a step back and look at it, like we were just talking earlier in this stream, everybody has their stock scanners and screeners set up to pick up stocks that are hitting new highs. Stocks, look at every time they come to highs here, they don't break up higher, do they? Some do if they get squeezed or if they have a really good press release, but majority of stocks, they don't continue to keep pushing. And that's a lot of people get trapped. So back to AMC, everybody that just keeps buying and buying and buying, if it does squeeze, they'll get rewarded for bad practices, not cutting their losers, moving on. They're tying up money. And if they do make money on it, eventually they'll give it all back. It's just all due with time. That's why 90% of people fail in the market. Greed. Greed and not sticking to your rules, your discipline, your plan. My bad, you guys. I hit mute on that mic. Good look, Calvin. As I was saying with OP, we all look at these charts differently. And some people may look at a chart like this and they'll say that this chart's garbage. I would never put my money into something like this. It's ugly. But there's other people out there that would look at this and they see opportunity. We all look at charts differently. Remember that. But always stick to what you're comfortable with. If you see opportunity in something, that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one making that money. Nobody else is out here making that money for you. So instead of the way I look at it, instead of hating on these charts and just jumping to conclusion and saying, oh, that's a pump and dump chart, I'm never going to get into that. Think differently. Try to understand, how did the stock move and why did it move? From here all the way up to here, then why did it crash all the way down to here? Then how did it bounce to there, pulled back to there, ran up to there, and then how did it the next day gap all the way up to its highs up here? Break it all down. See if you can put anything together. See if you can put together any sort of opportunity that you could have took advantage of. A good risk versus reward setup or strategy. And then if it ever pops up again in the future, you'll be prepared and ready to take advantage of it. Because you've seen it before. GRAB. I think this is a new IPO. Yeah, it's only been open for 2 days. Since it's open, way up here near 16, it got driven all the way down 50% to 850, and it's been going sideways. I think there's some opportunity on this. We could see a nice bounce on it. So it IPO'd and opened way over here, and then it just got driven down non-stop. Now it's going sideways. It's been resting and it's been consolidating. 850 is clear support on it. And from that sideways, we could get that momentum and we can get a good shot up to $12, maybe $13. So that's a potential of $5 upside potential. So with it at 9, you got to look at it like this. And this is where you guys should all be looking at charts. Opportunity and potential. Risk versus reward ratios. So if you were to focus on something like this, you see the potential, right? We just said it's got potential to run up to $12, $13. That's a lot of upside potential. But then people ask, how do you know if a stock's going to run up to those levels, or even if it's going to run? The more time you guys put into this and you break down these charts and you've just seen something over and over and over and over and over again, it just gets burnt into your head because you've seen it so many times. And then that's when you become the smart money and you can anticipate these moves before they happen. It's just a matter of when it will happen. That's the hardest part. So with that being said, you see you have your bottom at 850. If it's at 9, you're risking about 50 cents And the upside potential to $12, $13, that's $4, $5 of upside potential versus 50-cent downfall. The reward significantly outweighs the risk on a trade like this, right? Significantly. I would all day risk 50 cents to make $4 or $5 a share. That's phenomenal. And to give you guys a good example of this working out, let me pull up. I'm looking. CFVI. See, look at CFVI. It's a perfect example. Stock was up here. It got driven all the way down. And then it finally stopped going lower and it went sideways here. And from that sideways started to lift up and up it went all the way back up to where it was way back here. So by seeing this setup and this play over and over and over again for a year, 2 years, 3 years, you've seen these setups, then that's when you start switching over to anticipating it before it happens. And that's where you could see the potential. And then you're ahead of everybody else. See, because if you're new, you don't know what the hell to look out for. So your mind and eyes are everywhere. You don't know what to expect. And you find yourself time and time again, man, I'm always late to these stocks. I'm always losing money. Well, how much experience you got? I've been trying to trade for 2 months. Well, there's your answer right there, dude. You don't have any experience under your belt. That's why I preach to you guys. You got to show up every single day and just study these charts. Because you will get better. Do with time. That's why a lot of people fail. Because they just don't want to put the effort into this. They'd much rather say, it's rigged. I give up. It's too hard. I got kids I got to worry about, man. I got a full-time job. Make time, dude. Nobody ever made it by just coming up with excuses, right? You gotta make time. GRAB was a SPAC. The ticker just changed on Thursday. It was AGC before Thursday. Okay, that explains it then. So AGC here on December 1st. So it was a merger. See, even before this closed down, it had an epic good squeeze on it. Right there. From 1150s all the way up to 1650s, $17. And these are patterns that everybody's taught to look out for. Right here, wedges, triangles. I mean, they're everywhere. Look at all those different triangles. Look at this triangle. So these triangles, everybody's taught to look out for these chart patterns. Everybody. When you're brand new, what's one of the first things you look out for when learning? Chart patterns to look out for. Profitable chart patterns. These chart patterns, like we've taught here at Trading Learning 101, they're easy to learn, but yet so many people lose money consistently, right? Why is that? It all comes down to timing, stock selection, patience, risk versus reward. I see a lot of people when they spot a pattern, they jump into them and just anticipate for it to push up higher. Start looking at patterns like this. I'm going to show you guys. If I could type patterns are 50-50. Continuation patterns, reversal patterns. I don't care what kind of pattern they are. Bullish pennants, flags. Always think of patterns. They're a 50-50. We don't know if they're going to go up or down. We don't. So wait. Wait for it to choose its direction and then go from there. Don't jump in on these patterns and just anticipate it's going to continue going or push up higher. Because a lot of times, if you've noticed, when you jump in on patterns, a lot of time you get burnt really bad. A perfect example, we'll go back to CFVI on the 1 minute. We'll zoom in on this. So you see a pattern was setting up pretty much all day right here, right? You just noticed, man, it's got a very long wedge on it right at that $11. So you jump in and you anticipate for it to break up higher and push. Then you get met with a death candle and then another death candle, and then it's down to $10. Now you're down $1 a share. A lot of these patterns don't jump in and anticipate breakouts. It's bad news all day. What was that one we were just looking at? GRAB, yeah. I'm gonna add this to the weekly watch list. I think it still has potential. And what was that other one? OILB? I think it was OILB. Nope, I forgot. OIBT. IOBT. That's the one. I'm just going to set an alert on this at $12. If this can break over 12.50, it could definitely get up and going. It's a bit of a hard name to remember. IOBT. Just awkward. David asks, why does that happen so often? The other side knows it's too obvious, so they catch new people following patterns. So we should wait because it's just easy easy money for the market makers. Everybody's taught to look out for these patterns, so they just jump in and anticipate for it to push up higher. And then everybody, when you see a pattern, like, let's look at a pattern real quick. Maybe I could pull one up here. Chart patterns. So let's say you got a chart pattern. I'm going to try to show a good example. So you got a chart pattern like BBBY. You see it's been setting up a wedge. It's been holding $38 as support. And when everybody that jumps in and anticipates this pattern, they're all putting their stops all down here, right? Everybody all getting in. They're all putting their stops right there. Everybody. And when you get so many people all jumping in on these patterns and they're putting their stops all down here, you got to know. And this is where I tell you guys, learn everything that you can in this game. The more you learn about the inner workings, the more advantage you have. So market makers, you hear people talk about and mention market makers all the time. Well, the market makers are manipulating this stock. The market maker is been holding it up all day, and so on and so on. Do you ever ask the question, well, how do these market makers get paid? Do they get paid hourly? Do they get paid a salary? Market makers get paid per transaction. So for every buy and sell order, they get paid. So it could be 1 penny for every transaction, buy and sell on a stock. This, and you see there's an easy 25,000 orders with stops just below the pattern. What are you going to do? You're going to slam it, take everybody's stop loss out, get paid, and then you're going to rip the stock back up, and then half of the people who got stopped out, chances are they're going to end up getting emotional and they're going to rechase back after the stock. So the market maker just got paid out by taking everybody's stop loss out and then making 50% of the people who got stopped out rebuy back in and chase it as it pushes up. That market maker's banking. You got to think of ways like that. Think differently than everybody else. But always wait for pretty much patterns to confirm. And we've talked about this many, many times in the Discord. Waiting for confirmation and having a plan every trade. Waiting for that opportunity. Every single day, you'll grow more and more and more. So have that mindset. You want to show up tomorrow. Live to trade another day. Because every day you show up in the market, you learn something new. You learn from your mistakes. Don't let one trade take you out. Because if you get taken out, you're going to lose that desire to show up. You're not going to want to see how the stock market performed because you can't trade. you took yourself out of the game. One day at a time, you guys. It's a grind. So I'm going to publish this watch list in the Discord for you guys. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 12 stocks on our watch list going into next week. And that's not even including what gaps up Monday morning. There could be something totally left field pop up Monday and be the stock of the day. I'll tell you what I used to do when I was new. I would always check futures right when they would open up. Here I'm on Eastern time, so it's like 10:30. So midnight, 1 p.m., I checked the futures to see how they were gapping up or gapping down. I would just find myself wasting my time because futures could be gapping up in green at midnight. And then I'd wake up pre-market and futures would all be down in red. So always try to like wait maybe an hour before the market officially opens and check the futures for a forecast of how the market should open. I'm adding in all of these stocks to the watch list on Street Smart Edge. Nice. So then we'll see what... Oh yeah, CYAD. That was another one. We can add that one too. Yeah, this one could squeeze over 550. HGTY. This one went from 11 to 19 bucks. I mean, come on, guys. This is this is opportunity right here. Stock runs up pretty much $8 a share right there. Here is when it really started up and go from 14 explodes to 1950. So that's a $5.50 rip right there. Imagine holding on to 1,000 shares and the stock just explodes up $4. That's 4 G's in your pocket. I used to have to work a whole month to make that. That's insane. That's the opportunity the market gives us. Man. HGTY. I'll add this to my list and just see if it sets up later on in the week. And I'm just going through the top percentage gainers. That's all I'm doing right now. The top percentage gainers from Friday. PETV. I'll throw this one on the back burner too. Maybe this sets up later on as well. If this breaks over 450 and 5, it's got room to run on the daily here. Look at that gap right there. Over 5, it's got room to run up to about $7.50, $7. GLSI, no volume. MRVL, I think this was a popular options one from the options scan on Friday. Well, the market makers, they're the ones that run the market. They're the auctioneers. They're the one that determines the supply and demand imbalance. You know, I should make a video for you guys strictly all about market makers. And I think there's a few YouTube videos out there as well for free on market makers. You just got to find them. They're the YouTube University, I call it. I mean, you guys can learn so much from YouTube. It's unreal. We're in a world right now, you don't have to go to college to become an expert on something. You have the internet. You just got to be careful who you learn from, because there is a lot of BS out there. I'm adding these stocks to the HGTY was the other one. Yeah, that's a pretty good list going into next week, and we can also add UVXY and the VXX to the list if we wanted. If the market keeps crumbling, the SPY, and if it really starts to pick up momentum when it starts to free fall, that could create some opportunity in the inverse ETFs. And for all you new people just joining us on the stream right now, there's opportunity everywhere in the stock market. And even if the indexes are crumbling and falling down super hard, there's still opportunity, like I just said, in the inverse ETFs. UVXY, for example. Look at how much this stock ran up when the SPY was crumbling on Friday. This thing went from $20.50 all the way to $26. That's a $6 per share move. VXX. This thing went from $25.50 to $30. That's a $5 move. And let's look back on the SPY real quick. The S&P 500. See how it crumbled on Friday in the morning and got driven down? That's when all of these inverse ETFs that run opposite mirror what these major indexes do. And look what UVXY did. There's so many different trading vehicles in the markets. When those indexes get driven down, all of the hedge funds, to hedge their portfolios, they'll jump in on these for opportunity, because that's all that these are. They're just opportunity for when the markets really take a hit. Who remembers when the market was crashing down and correcting? I think it was like 2 years ago. And the TVIX, before they retired it, oh my goodness, that thing ran from, it was insane. It was like $10 and it ran all the way up to, I think, to like $1,000 in like 2 weeks. It was insane. And then shortly after, they retired the TVIX. That used to be my favorite inverse ETF, was the TVIX. But they still got the UVXY around. ABUS, it was in play 3 days ago, running from 4 to 650. It's been pulling back for 2.5 days. You may see a bounce to $5, maybe. You're really going to want to see if $4 holds as support. Right there. Maybe 50 cents, maybe $1. It's worth keeping an eye on. Will I keep an eye on it? No. I think there's better opportunity out there, but there is potential in ABUS. Not much, but there is something there. If it falls through 4, I would give up on it. My midlife adventure says, funny you that I was crash coursing about market makers the last few weeks. Yeah, it's most definitely worth knowing how these market makers, how they operate, how do they do their job, right? I mean, the more you get into the stock market, the more you educate yourself, like I've said, the more edge you have over everybody else versus some total noob coming into this and saying, hey guys, when should I buy? When should I sell? Do you think I should sell this? And then they become bag holders and then they quit. You really, you have to think and be like a vicious wolf in this game. You have to. You have to have that mindset. I'm moving on. Forget about it, move on. Something else is going to pop up. I mean, day in and day out, you guys, how many different opportunities do we see pop up? A lot. You can't emotionally marry these stocks or beat yourself up if you missed out on a big runner, because you never know. The next big runner could be an hour away, the next day, next week. You just gotta patiently wait, learn from the past, learn about yourself, and develop strategies based on who you are as a person. That's why it's a lot harder to be successful in this. It's very hard for people come into this, they think it's all about, man, these traders, they're holding back. They have a secret strategy that they're using, or a secret indicator that's telling them when to buy and when to sell. I gotta find that secret. And once I find that secret, I could successfully pull money out of the stock market. Well, the secret is you. That's the secret. Once you understand that, things make sense. With that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks for tuning in with me tonight. It's getting a bit late here on the East Coast. It's already almost 11 p.m. Get a good night's rest. And you members, I'll see you guys in the chat Money Monday. I even made a big picture for Money Mondays as well. Right here in the Discord fun. Favorite day of the week, period, is Monday. Everybody's super excited Mondays. They studied all weekend. They get all excited for Monday. And Monday's super important because getting off on the right foot, that could make or break your whole week. So take a step back, be patient, wait for that opportunity to come to you. Lock in profits, start that week off on the right foot, and everything will fall into place as the week progresses. Take it one day at a time, you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, join the Trading Learning 101 community where we all grow as traders and investors. One day at a time, guys. I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good night.